Passover Seder, or in American, Seders, come in many forms, from those filled with skits to those lasting all night to those rushed through in an effort to get to the food. Whatever your Seder, there are some symbols and customs you'll see most of the time. In the middle of the table, there's wine, a stack of matzah, and a cup of wine for Elijah the prophet, who's said to visit every Seder. Additionally, there's the Seder plate. It can be anything from a fancy ceramic piece imported from Israel to a makeshift number hacked together from picnicware. On the Seder plate, a shank bone, egg, bitter herb, charoset, karpas, and a piece of lettuce. Each thing symbolizes a different aspect of Passover. Also, everyone has a Haggadah, the book or printouts that guides you through the Seder. There are tons of different Haggadahs. Minimal and elaborate, you can get them in Hebrew, English, or both, with any kind of commentary you like, from feminist to environmental to Hasidic to political. There are versions for kids, for interfaith groups, and for activists. And of course, people remix the tradition every which way to make it their own. Seder literally translates to order, so let's talk about that. There's a few traditions to start. Blessing the wine, washing your hands, dipping veggies into salt water, and then breaking the middle matzah. Half of it, called the afikoman, gets hidden surreptitiously. Then comes the main event, the telling of the Exodus from Egypt. Or more accurately, the main event is an interactive reading of rabbinical discussions about how to remember the Exodus. When the Seder was put together, the rabbis assumed everyone going in knew the story, so it was silly to just retell it. Instead, they went deeper, and in doing so, created a holiday that is about memory. How do people, today, relate to these themes of liberation and redemption? At many Seders, people go around the table and read a paragraph each from the Haggadah. People add songs and discussions about what happened back then and about parallels with today's world. Seders around the world may include diverse traditions like hitting your neighbor with green onions, pouring water on the floor, or pulling out a bag of plushy plagues. And overachievers hold all-night Seders. One famous part of the Seder is the 4 questions, where the youngest child at the table asks, Ma nishtana? If you are the youngest child, you can practice here. Learning songs is a great way to prep for the Seder. If you have to pick one, make it the chorus to Dayenu. It's one word, and you can learn it here. After the storytelling piece, there's a few more customs. More hand-washing, eating matzah, then maror, something bitter like horseradish, then a matzah maror sandwich, and then dinner. If you're at a Sephardi Seder, there might be kitniyot included. People's strenuousness about keeping kosher for Passover varies widely. For instance, some folks won't eat anything made with wet matzah, including the Passover staple, matzah balls. After the main meal and dessert, there's the search for the afikoman. Whoever finds it gets a prize, and everyone else gets the ability to finish the meal with a tiny piece of matzah. Now, just being honest, a lot of Seders peter out here with tired kids and matzah kugel-induced food comas. But at a full Seder, you continue with Birkat HaMazon, the grace after meals, followed by opening the door for Elijah, a special set of songs of praise called Hallel, more wine, and the famous closeout next year in Jerusalem. Then, 2 popular bonus songs are Echad Mi Yodea and Chad Gadya. If you want to learn those, click over there. Haven't had enough of Seder yet? Lucky you! Outside of Israel, traditional Jews celebrate 2 nights of Seders, and there are lots of other variations out there. It's a quirky holiday. Chag kasher v'sameach. Happy Passover.